Hello there folks, today we'll take a look at the game called Shahrazad. It's published by Osprey Games and the designer is Yuwa.
We all know the story about 1001 Nights where Shahrazad is telling stories each night to king in order to stay alive. So in this game we are taking part of the Shahrazad and we're telling the story.
Let me tell you a story now. Shahrazad can be played either solo or as a two-player game. As I don't play solo, I'm gonna show you a two-player variant. Two players means that you play cooperatively. Each one of you has two tiles at the start of his game. They are secret from each other. You cannot show tiles although you cooperate. I'm just gonna show them for now for the purpose of explanation. You have one tile already in the middle, and then you have stack of all the other tiles. Now, your goal is to create a story. And abstractly, it's basically you want to put the tiles down like that, so the smallest numbers are on the left and the highest numbers are on the right, so they go like in ascending order, like that. And tiles have those numbers, and basically the picture just for the beautiful look, and they have the color as well. So the number and the color, that is an important information. Now, on your turn, you can either put a new tile down or change the existing tile from the tile with the tile from your hand. Let's say I'm looking at this is my turn. This is my first turn. I have tiles 16 and 12. So let's say I'm just gonna put down a tile. So you can either you basically when you put tiles, you put them like that, and I'm just gonna show just how it creates the pattern. So in each column you can have at most 3 tiles, and you basically create kind of that of a patterns like that, and so on. Yeah, and as I told you can play a tile from your hand. This is one of your first choices, or you can exchange. For example, let's say this number 5 is further in this game, and it's not so good for you because you want to have smaller numbers in the beginning rather. So let's say I have 17. I'm gonna change it into that. I'm gonna explain you how the scoring works in a moment. The thing is that it's a little bit complicated to explain for the first time, but further I'm gonna show you what it has. So, but by the way, if you change the tile, you are left with 2 tiles. If you change it, then you didn't put anything down, but you still draw a tile. The caveat here is that on the next turn you have to play 2 tiles in a row, which can create some really difficult situations. So it's all about the puzzle, how to create the pattern from the lowest number to the biggest numbers. Now, you want the colors because you want to create continuous groups out of them in order for them to score. But the thing is that, let's say with this situation, I'm not gonna just build it further for now. The numbers must go like that. So if I see here, for example, 16 is lower than 18, it's all good. But 16 is higher than 15 and they touch, which means that the 15 will turn over, it will not score for me. Yeah, which means that here the 5 will not score and here is all fine. But the problem is that you also need to have a connection from the first tiles to the last tiles. You need to have that connection throughout story here, which means if the connection here would somehow be lost, for example, like that, then all of these tiles would be turning over and you will score 0 points. So you want to connect these continuous things here and you get those points. So you get 1 point for each group of each color. So you have, for example, you have I'm not gonna just show, let's say it's a wrong thing here, but for example I get 3 points. This is the biggest red group, I get 3 points. There's the biggest yellow group, biggest blue group, and black group, and so on. So this is how the game is played. And the scoring, yeah, the scoring depends on whether you will put the tiles in ascending order, so the smaller tiles are before touching the bigger tiles, and so on and so on and so on, and it's growing. And if you will have the situation where there is a smaller number in front of a higher number, then it will not score, and it can also break the chain, and you might even go with the 0 points because there is no connection from the first to the last tile. And here are the scoring marks. So for 2 players, if you score 0 to 4, where you 2 telling the same tale, and 35 plus, I'm not crying, you're crying. The most we got is like, this is quite under-rehearsed or something like that. We got 5 to 14 points because it's rather difficult to play as a 2-player game as well. Because the information is hidden. So I didn't explain as well. So when, let's say I have these 2 tiles in my hand, I have to choose myself which tile I will play. But when I will choose it, I reveal it, and then we can discuss where we will put this tile. But I cannot discuss what tiles I have in my hand, and I have to make this choice what tile I will bring out myself. So that's sort of a half cooperation there with hidden information. And that's how the Shahrazad is played. All this game has are tiles, component-wise I mean. And the tiles are thick, they're really good quality. They have some kind of a coating which has the reflection when you are playing in the sunlight or whatever, so it's a little bit hard to see for me sometimes. I don't know what's the coating there.
No idea, never had a problem. You could totally see that this game could have been just cards, but they decided to do tiles instead of cards, which I personally really appreciate, so, and I'm quite sure I'm not the only one. And
the art is, it's simple, but it's gorgeous. It's like a little bit of that Dixit-like the fairy tale.
Yes,
and
it's
such,
really
so
much as fairy tale. It's like from the book, like illustrations, which is perfect because this is all about telling stories.
Perfect for this game, and then when you lay this out, it looks perfect on the table as well. So, gameplay-wise, it's extremely easy to learn, to play, to get going. There is nothing that's in your way. You just have few rules. When you maybe play with 2 players, you have a little bit more, but eventually you just start playing and that's it. You already know how to do it.
In the very beginning, it's hard to understand how do you need to connect all the tiles with the same line, but it's just tiny things that once you get it, it's easy. Rest is good. So yeah, but the gameplay is like super fast. It's written 10 to 20 minutes. It's completely accurate. You can actually finish the game even faster if you manage to die before the second round. So yeah. But that means actually that you can play many times in a row, and you will want to do that in most of the times. Yeah.
Also, what I like about this game, you see, this box is really small. It's portable. You can play outside as well because of the thick tiles as well. I don't think anything can happen to them. You can play on the beach and such. So, summery game as well.
Or picnic. Wouldn't actually take it to the beach because of the water.
Yeah, water. I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So. Another gameplay-wise thing there is that this game is puzzly, and it's all, at least for me, it's all about putting the right tiles at the right time in the right order, and it's really hard. It's really hard.
It is. I agree. So it is already tricky to create columns in ascending order so that all the numbers would match. But if you try to add and connect all the colors, it becomes even more hard. So what I really like is like the depth and the complexity of it.
The depth
and complexity of the game.
Okay, yeah, cool. But on the other hand, I feel like it's nothing really is big thing there or negative, but because this game is a bit random. It depends what tiles you will draw. It depends what will happen to you during the game. So
yeah, but still,
I don't know what did it say.
I don't know either. But what I would trying to say that even if you get the bad tiles in a row, like not suitable tiles, it will not make your game so much more harder. Even if you get like a good tiles in a row, it's still hard. And I definitely played it more than Ilya, and I can tell that it doesn't make a big difference. Although it really does feel like, come on, it's just all about tiles whenever you get them. But not as easy as that.
I mean, like when you get the bigger numbers at the beginning, it's a little bit harder to, But
that's the thing. Once you start playing, it doesn't make a difference. So it's still complicated. I really like the scoring here. So scoring, you just kind of like continue count the points and see where you are. And there is a slight humor in it. So it's basically what the king will tell you after your story. And it will make you want to try more. It will make you want to try harder because of the response there.
Yeah. Did you what did you we got the maximum we got is that what was it? Did you have the potential or
no? I don't.
This was quite under rehearsed or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
And
I personally played solo so many times, but I still can't get better than a movie, which is
not bad. But I prefer the movie. Yeah, there was the solo thing there. So. Yeah,
but that's somewhere in the middle.
That'd be
which
scoring,
is cool.
Yeah. But did you like your solo experience? Because I don't play solo. I get frustrated when I play any kind of solo game. So
before this particular game, I didn't play any solo games at all because I had the same idea. I play board games because of the social experience. But when we got the game, it was like, yeah, but it's just one or two people, and I have to play it solo just to get the idea of like different player count.
Yeah.
And you know what? I totally got into solo games now. And I really like it. I've played it so many times. It really feels like a small app game, you know, the one where you decide like, okay, let me do one more game. Let me do just one more game before I go to sleep. You know, like easy, like I'll just set like cards for once. And you take that second time and third time and fourth time. It has that addiction because of I just had to become better than a movie.
Yeah, and the two-player game is a different experience, as I understand. Though I played on a two-player game, so but it becomes a co-op, and you cannot talk about each other's tiles in your hand. But whenever you will choose what tile you want to put down, you can discuss where you will put it, and that's really cool. It's cool to maybe anticipate that. I hope like Alina has this tile, so I will put this one here right now. Like I will stop playing this one, so she can play the other one or change it into this one. So there's that, and I like this kind of a couple type cooperation. So
two players is definitely harder than a solo because when two players, not everything depends on what do you have in hand. And second is that you will have only 3 tiles in the column, which restricts you even more. But let's say solo is still tricky enough for me to enjoy.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, but overall, I can't recommend the solo, but I like the game. I like it as a two-player experience very much. It's something for the lazy evening. You just pull it out, you play a few rounds, and you're done, and you feel satisfied because you played something relaxing. So
for me, it's more like a breakfast game, like really tiny or roll and write games. I really feel like playing at breakfast.
Yeah.
I personally, sincerely fell in love with the game. I had little belief in the game because when we saw and heard about the game, I was like, no, probably not for us. I'm super surprised that I'm so deeply in love with the game. So it's super cool and challenging.
What have we realized so far is that you have Shahrazad for breakfast and I have it for dinner. That's the thing. Yeah. So we like the game. Thank you for watching. We see you another time.